What's up everyone, it's Ab from Life of Adam. Today I'm back with a brand new lifeguarding video, and in today's video I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about surviving a lifeguard summer pool job. This is the 2023 edition. I'm going to give you guys my secrets, my hacks, my tips for basically how to be a successful lifeguard, how to do a really good job, and how to survive the summer with getting paid and having a really good time. Now before I dive into this, if you guys are new to the channel, I make a bunch of lifeguarding tip videos about how to pass the course, how to pass the pre-test, basically everything you need to know about becoming a successful lifeguard. Also, if you want some pointers of basically how to pass on your first try, I have a course down below in the description that will walk you through everything you need to know about every single test at the beginning so that you can pass on your first try and you don't have to worry about spending money and then not passing. Now back to the video. Let's say you have a summer pool job lined up. It might be your first year, second year, third year, whatever it is. You know that you're guarding in the afternoon, you're having breaks every like 45 minutes to an hour, you're rotating on chairs. Like, what's one of the most important tips that I can give you from my experience? And that tip is to control your space. And you're probably thinking, what does that mean? When you're lifeguarding and you're on a station, it could be a tower, it could be like a little foldable chair, it could be like anything that they called a lifeguard station. When you're guarding a pool, you have to control your space. You have to guard what you're assigned to guard. So it's like your zone. Let's say I'm responsible for half the pool, you're responsible for the other half. Let's say there's only two of us. The half of the pool that you're responsible for, doesn't matter if it's next to you, behind you, on the pool deck, maybe it's even like towards their zone and you see something that's obvious and it's a hazard, you have to shoot all of it down. You have to get it before it escalates and it becomes a problem. I recommend that you walk around, you check the surface area of the water, because sometimes when you're guarding, like, you can't really see beneath you, like in the corners. I recommend you walk around, you can do like a roaming shift or whatever you want to do. Whenever you feel like it, just check the corners, check the surface area. Not everything happens at the surface of the water. It could be below the surface as well. You want to make sure there's no passive victims. Even though it's very rare, you have to make sure everything in your zone is controlled and is under surveillance. So don't be afraid to like get up, stand up, stretch, walk around, communicate with people that are swimming. You don't have to stand there and just say nothing and be afraid. Like, I know when you're nervous at the beginning of your lifeguarding shifts, like let's say you're a new lifeguard, like you're afraid to like take your eyes off the pool and like you're afraid to move around and be yourself. It's really important that you move around and you be yourself. And this will strengthen your guarding ability because you'll move around, you'll have different angles of the pool, maybe there's some sun glare you can avoid, and this will help you be more involved and it'll help you be more engaged, because if you're sitting there and you get bored, sometimes you daydream and before you know it, you have to jump in and make a rescue. So it's very important to be engaged, to walk around and not be afraid, and to control a lot of space. Now the second really important tip is to make sure you're on the same page with all of your coworkers. Communication is so important. You want to build chemistry with your coworkers right away, because you have like an awkward dynamic and you're afraid to ask questions and you don't really know each other and you're not talking freely, then if something happens, it's gonna be really hard to work together because you're just not in sync. So you wanna make sure that everyone's on the same page about when to rotate, when to call safety breaks, when this person's getting on, this person's getting off, how long each swim period is for, what's the maximum, what's the number of patrons that are in the water. Maybe you need extra eyes if it exceeds a certain amount of swimmers. Like, you wanna make sure that all the equipment's lined up, everyone knows what to do in whatever situation, who's the primary lifeguard, who's the secondary lifeguard. Just all happens with like in-service and like getting to know each other and just working together. But it's really important to break the ice early as soon as possible so you can get the snowball rolling and that you can all kind of have a really good and healthy working dynamic. Because the best years of me lifeguarding was definitely when like I made a lot of friends while lifeguarding, just because we're working 5 days a week in the summer. You're like talking freely, you're communicating, you're asking questions, you're open, saying like, hey, is that person okay? And they'll look and they'll be like, yeah, he's fine, he's doing this. Like, it's really just transparent and honest and just natural. So you want to get to that point to really help your lifeguarding. Now another very important tip, especially for pools, especially for like summer camps, there's a lot of young kids running around, whatever, is to have two different sides to you. You want to have the nice, like friendly, just like a good person side. It's approachable, can answer questions, can solve problems, can like deal with first aid, kind of like that nurturing type of person. But you also want to have that side of you that just shows that you're not going to put up with a lot of stuff. If someone's running and they repeatedly run, even though you're saying you need to stop, like, you're not going to take it and you're going to be able to enforce and you're going to be very serious. So you kind of want to be a little bit intimidating. This is just me because I worked at summer camps. You want to be a little intimidating when they're not listening to you, but you also want to be like a nice, approachable, funny person, friendly person. You want to have those two different dynamics, because this will make you very well rounded. Everyone will respect you and no one's going to want to get on your bad side. Everyone's going to stay on your good side. And it's also going to help with communication. You're going to know people's names. So if someone's doing something wrong, you can call people by name. You can get to know the customers or the swimmers at the pool, which is very helpful, especially when there's a lot of them and you're trying to get someone's attention. If you know their name, you can say like, hey John, hey Mark, hey Susie, whatever, and they'll look and they'll see you. So it helps with enforcing rules as well. But also a really good tip, if you want to get someone's attention when there's a lot of swimmers, what I like to do is, like, yes, you can blow the whistle. It's the fastest, easiest way. It'll get everyone's attention. You can just point that person out. That's like the best way and the fastest way. But let's say it's like a very minor thing and you don't want to ruin the flow of things. You can like make eye contact with someone around that person and be like, hey, can you tap that person on the shoulder? They'll tap the person on the shoulder, and you kind of wave them to the side and you can tell them what they're doing wrong if you want to do that kind of way as well. So I know this is kind of a rant video, but I hope you guys found this helpful. Definitely like and subscribe if you're new to the channel and you want to see more videos like this. And I'll see you all in the next Lifeguard upload. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out.